concerned. All right, we're in Exodus, the 6th chapter, and the Most High is talking to Moses and Aaron to talk to us as the children of Israel. And let's look at Exodus 6th chapter, verse 8. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for inheritance. I am the Most High. So he said, "Will give us the land." He gave us the land of Canaan for an inheritance. He said, "Where we will live at." That's the 12 tribes of Israel. Each tribe had its own land. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. You hear that? You got to look at it. Moses said he's going to harden Pharaoh's mind, which is his heart. And the Egyptians afflicted us more and more and more, and made us continue to make the same amount of bricks. And we had to find our own straw, or say stubble, to make the same amount of bricks and not deviate at all. And the people is mad with Moses and Aaron because, hey, they went in there talking to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh gave the order to make the bondage harder and harder. You would say, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit. They angry with him. And for cruel bondage, for the hard bondage they had to serve. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of this land. Go out of his land. Told Moses, go in there and talk to Pharaoh again, that he let us go out of his land. And Moses spake before the Most High, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? Say, the children of Israel won't listen to me. My own people won't listen to me. How Pharaoh of another nation that got us in bondage is going to listen to me? And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, and unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. These be the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Reuben, he's going through all the different heads of the fathers, who is the head of the people, not the mothers, but the father, the sons of Reuben, and the firstborn of Israel, naming them all, going all the way down, right? Verse 25, Eleazar, Aaron's son, took him one of the daughters of Pethuel to wife, and she bare him Phinehas. These are the heads of the fathers of the Levites according to their families. These are that Aaron and Moses, to whom the Most High said, Bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies. Understand this. These are they which spake to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are that Moses and Aaron. And it came to pass on the day when the Most High spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Most High. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before the Most High, Behold, I am on the circumcised lips. Second time he told him, And how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Chapter 7, the Most High said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a God to Pharaoh. I have made you a master to Pharaoh. I have made you a power to Pharaoh. And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Hear that? Thou shalt speak all that I command thee. And Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart again, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. This is all to get the Most High a name. Now, you got to understand, this is for his deliverance of we, the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Now, you're going to find out, if you haven't found out, all the things he's written in this Bible, he's going to do in prophecy to get him a name for bringing down all kingdoms of this earth. Look, don't look at me crazy. Revelation 19:11. Look. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon it was called Faithful and True. This is a MASHAYACH coming back in his angelic power, on this pure righteous power. And in righteousness, that's the laws of the Most High. Righteousness, we know that, right, class? Deuteronomy 6:25, Psalms 119, 172. The righteousness of the Most High is keeping his laws and commandments. So he coming back to judge in righteousness. He does judge and make war. Who we gonna make war with? He can make war with us. We don't have nothing. What we have? We got stealth bombers. Israelites, you got stealth bombers. You got flying saucers on the left-hand side to fight the ones that's coming on the right-hand side. I don't think so. It says, verse 14, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses too. They got white horses. He come with a pure righteous power, his angelic power, his army of angels coming with pure righteous power too. Clothed in fine linen. Ain't no butt-naked angels. They'll be clothed in fine linen, white and clean. White and clean. Listen what it says, verse 15. This is why I'm here to let you know. He said, and out of his mouth go up a sharp sword, that with this sharp sword, this is now, with this sharp sword, with this sharp sword, he should what? Smite the nations, kill the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's the law of the Most High. That y'all saying we ain't under? This is what he gonna rule them with. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. Y'all better understand. You better understand. Look at verse 17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying, to all the fowls, all the buzzards, and all those birds that eat flesh, that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings. Isn't a king in power over nations? And the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies. That's all the armies, the navies, the marines, the air force, they all called armies here. But that's what he's talking about. Of all four corners of the earth, gathered together to make war with him that sat on the horse. This is our salvation right here. And against his army. What's his army? Revelation 9:16. This is his army. And the number of the army of the horsemen that's clothed in white clean linen, clean white linen, were 200,000. I heard the number of them. That's 200 million angels. Listen, going back to Revelation 19, we're going to bring it on home to our time. You done told the birds to come and eat up all these men that's prepared to fight them. Look, verse 19, I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together, all the armies of the four corners of the earth, Navy and Marines and Air Forces, gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army of 200 million angels. MASHAYACH and his armies. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet. All y'all dealing with all these different religions. And with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image. You want to be like them? He said, learn not the way of the heathen. You want to be like them? These both were cast into these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant, those that didn't be cast into the lake of fire, burning with fire, and the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Now, let me just go to Second Ezra right quick. You can read the whole story. You know, we read it many times. It might be someone that's reading this for the first time. I want you to see this. In Exodus, Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. We'll go right to the point. Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, this is MASHAYACH coming back, the judge to make war. All they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid. All the armies, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force going to be so afraid, and yet does fight. They're in the orders to fight. They're afraid, but they're going to fight them. YAHAWASHI and the angels. 200 million at that. Listen. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude of that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth. Remember we said, tell me the description ain't right. All they had was the Old Testament. Now, I'm in the New Testament in Revelation 19:15, and in Revelations 19 and 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, out of his mouth, remember that, goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. See? Now, it said he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Okay? So now let's look at what it said in Revelation, 2 Ezra 13 and verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, that's the army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, that he's going to smite the nations that we just read in Revelation 19:15, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. Ain't nobody gonna be left. And burned them up, every one, so that upon the sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Woo. So, that's deliverance. That's judgment. Just like you see here. That's why the Most High said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. By the time we get there, we'll be to cry to the Most High. He said we love, he chastens. He said, and the wicked shall not be acquitted. So you ain't getting away with nothing. Any way you look at it, we still going to be dealt with. So now, back to Exodus, the 7th chapter. Moses said, Exodus 7 and verse 2, thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, just like he did before, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. It was the Most High's doing. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, but I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgment. Hear this, ain't nothing new under the sun. We just read about the end of these nations, as you know it today, according to prophecy of the Bible. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High. And the Egyptians that we under now, spiritual Egyptians, they gonna know it too. And the Egyptians, our captives, shall know that I am the Most High, when I stretch forth mine hand upon Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And Moses and Aaron did as the Most High commanded them. So did they. And Moses was 80 years old. That's 80 years old. And Aaron 83 years old. He was 83 years old when they spake unto Pharaoh. Man, he's 80 and 83 years old. And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod, and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Most High had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Check this out. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. You see, now the musicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. You see, that they got power on the left side. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, the Most High, that he is the Most High, hardened Pharaoh's heart, hardened Pharaoh's mind, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Most High had said. And the Most High said unto Moses, Pharaoh's mind is hardened. He refuses to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Go, lo, he goeth out into the water, and thou shalt stand by the river's bank. River's brink against he come, whenever he comes there, to that river. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand, and thou shalt say unto him, the Most High power of the Hebrews. You see, the distinction between whatever gods they serve or whatever gods people are serving now. If it's not the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who was initially the gods of the Hebrews, the power of the Hebrews, we Hebrews, Israelites, have sent me unto thee, then it's not their power. He's not their power. Have sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. See, tell him he wouldn't hear, but the Most High has hardened his heart. They didn't get him a name. Thus said the Most High. That was it's all about. In this thou shalt know that I am the Most High. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood. And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. They're going to long to drink of the water from the river. Say, I'm going to turn this river into blood. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying unto Aaron, take thy rod and stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. No matter what vessel they had, no matter how they try and get this water, every water in Egypt gonna turn to blood. And Moses and Aaron did so, as the Most High commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. Can you imagine that? This is why they got to drink. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. Dude, can you imagine what kind of smell that was? And the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. Blood. And it's nasty. And the musicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. They did the same thing. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened. He got madder. His mind. Most High controlled it though. He said he gonna harden his heart. Neither did he hearken unto them, as the Most High has said. Say he ain't gonna hearken to you. The Most High is doing this. And Pharaoh turned, remember, Hosea 5:15. In our affliction, we're going to seek him early. So y'all better be thinking about what he said. Because he's hardened Pharaoh's heart. He's hardening Pharaoh's mind, but what you think happened to us? Being in slavery. Being in that hard bondage. Got beat more. There's more pressure on us. And all the Egyptians dig round about the river for water to drink, but they could not drink of the water of the river. They digging all around the river trying to find some good water. Blood everywhere. And stinking. Dead fish. You know that was funky. Woo. And 7 days were fulfilled. After that, the Most High had smitten the river. Whole week. Chapter 8. Exodus 8 chapter. And the Most High spake unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus said the Most High, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. We going through these plagues, man. There's 10 plagues the Most High put upon these Egyptians. He said, I'm going to smite all thy borders with frogs. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly. He got rid of the blood out of the river. Now he going to put all kind of frogs in the river. And the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into thy house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thine ovens, and into thy kneading troughs, everywhere. And the frog shall come up both of thee, on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants. They're going to be jumping all over them. You know, they say you get warts from frogs. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying to Aaron, stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. And the musicians did so with their enchantments, and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt. Now they should be taking their enchantments, getting rid of the frogs. No, they gonna do the same thing. See how ignorant that is? Come on. Now, if the Most High, seem like the people that's here now, if the Most High did something that's against them, see, they would have the resistance to counteract that, to make sure that, it goes away, right? That would be, people don't have common sense, but if these musicians did so with their enchantments and brought up frogs upon the land of Egypt too. Come on now. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, entreat the Most High, that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may go sacrifice unto the Most High. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee and for thy servants and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the river only? Can you imagine that? You open up your stove to cook something and frogs just coming out of it. Come on. And when they come out, they're already on you, and you gotta survive. You're trying to eat something. You ain't had no water, because the water been made to be blood, and he done cleaned that up, and here come the frogs in the water that you trying to drink. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, glory over me. When shall I entreat for thee and for thy servants and for thy people, to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, tomorrow. And he said, be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto the Most High power, our power. Understand this. And the frogs shall depart from thee, and from thy houses, and from thy servants, and from thy people. They shall remain in the river only. So all the frogs, he said, gonna go back to the river. And Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, And Moses cried unto the Most High because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. He cried unto the Most High. He cried unto the Most High. Solution, solution, solution. Because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And the Most High did according to the word of Moses. He got a response from the Most High when he cried to the Most High. And the Most High did according to the word of Moses. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. You know, this is, man, you already got the stinking fish. Now you got the stinking frogs. They died. So you know they had to get rid of them. And they gathered them together upon heaps. Heaps, it says. And the land stank. There it is again. You stinking from the dead fish that died from the river being made to be blood. Now you got to deal with the stinking frogs on top of the stinking fish. And the land stank. And when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart and hearkened not unto them. And the Most High has, as the Most High has said. And the Most High said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Lice, man. Whew. I remember I had this video, and they was combing this boy's hair. I don't know, it looked like a boy, a young man, and all kind of bugs was coming out of his head, man. Oof. Lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man. And in beast, all the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. That's unbelievable, man. That's man. Can you imagine that? Lice everywhere. You don't see no ground. All you see is lice crawling and jumping on people and all over the people. Man. And we just did so with their enchantment. They, come on. Instead of getting rid of the lice, they had to the problem that they have in Egypt. And the Egyptians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beasts. It was enough lice because the Most High had to, he allowed their enchantments to work. Whoa, man. Mind you, this is on the Egyptians, not on us. As the Israelites, we're in Goshen chilling. Then the musicians said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of the Most High. First time they wasn't able to do the enchantments, right? So the musician came back to Pharaoh and said, this is the finger of the Most High. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened. And he hardened not unto them, as the Most High has said. The Most High is not a man he should lie. You see his Most High word is coming through. And the Most High said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, thus say the Most High power, the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, don't forget that. Let my people, who are the 12 tribes of Israel, go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee. Man, you had the dead fish, you done had the dead frogs stinking up everything. Now you got lice upon people, eating people up, just all over the people. You don't even see no ground, all you see is lice. And upon thy servants and upon thy people and to thy houses, flies. He said, swarms of flies. And the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am the Most High in the midst of the earth. Hear that? That's what we just read about his judgment in our time, in the end. That's the power of the Most High, y'all. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall the sign be. So I'm going to put a division between my people, who are the Israelites, and your people, who are the Egyptians. And the Most High did so. And there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt. The land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. He brought flies on them. And Pharaoh called for Moses and for Aaron and said, "Go ye, sacrifice to your power in the land." And Moses said, "It is not meet, it's not right so to do. For we shall sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians to the Most High our power. Lo, shall we sacrifice the abomination of the Egyptians before their eyes? And will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Most High power, our power, as he shall command us." And Pharaoh said, "I will let you go, that ye may sacrifice to your power, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the wilderness. Only ye shall not go very far away. Entreat for me." And Moses said, "Behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Most High that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Pharaoh deal deceitfully, don't be lying to me, anymore, in not letting the people go to sacrifice to the Most High." And Moses went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Most High, cried to the Most High, prayed to the Most High, and the Most High did according to the word of Moses. And he removed the swarm of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. There remained not one. And Pharaoh hardened his heart at this time also, neither would he let the people go. So once the flies was gone, he went back to harden his heart, harden his mind. Chapter 9, then the Most High said unto Moses, "Go unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus said the Most High power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of the Most High is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain." So I'm going to make this so hard on you, boy. "And the Most High shall sever, cut between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt." So I'm going to sever, I'm going to cut between our cattle as the Israelites and the Egyptian cattle. "And there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. There shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel." No cattle of the 12 tribes of Israel is going to die. And the Most High did that thing on the morrow. And all the cattle of Egypt died. But of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. You see? And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not one of the cattle of the Israelites dead. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, and he did not let the people go. And the Most High said unto Moses and unto Aaron, "Take to you handfuls of ashes of the furnace, and let Moses sprinkle it toward the heaven in the sight of Pharaoh." Take the ashes of furnace and go before Pharaoh and sprinkle it in front of his face. And it shall become small dust in all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with flames upon man and upon beasts throughout all the land of Egypt. Gonna be boils. Y'all right? I know people have boils, man. It looks pretty bad, like big old blister or so. Hurt. And they took ashes of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses sprinkled it up toward heaven, threw it up in the heavens, and it became a boil breaking forth with flames upon man and upon beasts. And the musicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils. They couldn't come before Moses to their enchantments because they had boils on their body hurting. For the boil was upon the musicians and upon all the Egyptians. And the Most High hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and he hearkened not unto them, as the Most High had spoken unto Moses. And the Most High said unto Moses, "Rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus said the Most High power of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will at this time send all my plagues upon this. I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart. I will send all these plagues upon thy mind, Pharaoh, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. See, Most High giving him a name. Now he gonna do from the conclusion of the whole matter. We just read it concerning our time. For now I will stretch out my hand that I may smite thee and thy children with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee my power. Hear that? He say, for this deed, this is why I raised you up, to show in Pharaoh the Most High's power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. I'm going to read you again. And in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to show in thee, show in Pharaoh my power. That's the Most High's power. And that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. As yet exalted thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go? Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as have not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now. Now look at Daniel's 4 and 17. He's only reigning, he's only dealing with us because we broke the Most High's commandments. Why he took us down. We remember we was exceeding mighty. Oh yeah, got big-headed. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living, may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. You heard him say it. He said in Exodus 9:16, and in very deed for this cause have I raised thee up. That's the Most High raised Pharaoh up, for to show in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. The Most High said in Daniel 4:17, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. You hear that? He set up over it the bases of men. Going back to Exodus 9. Verse 18. Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as have not been in Egypt since the foundation thereof, even until now. Send therefore now, and gather thy cattle, and all that thou hast in the field. For upon every man and beast which shall be found in the field, out there in the world, with no shelter, and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die. You hear that? That's some powerful hail. He that feared the word of the Most High among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of the Most High left his servants and his cattle in the field. And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch forth thine hand toward heaven, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man and upon beast and upon every herb of the field, throughout all the land of Egypt. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Most High sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground. And the Most High rained hail upon the land of Egypt. Can you imagine this? Just hail, and you got fire that's running along the ground with this hail coming down. And fire, hellfire, hellfire, hell and fire coming down. He said a fire ran along the ground, and the Most High rained hell upon the land of Egypt. So there was hell, and fire mingled with the hell. Hell, fire, hell. This is a different hell, but I mean, those people are going to be thrown in the hell fire, but this is different hell, spelled different, H-A-I-L. Hell coming from the sky with fire mingled in with the hell, and it's not melting. Come on, y'all think about that. Hell is like concealed ice. It's coming down out the sky, and fire is in it. He said, so there was hell, verse 24, and fire mingled with the hell, very grievous, such as there was none like it in all the land of Egypt since it became a nation. And the hell smote throughout all the land of Egypt, all that was in the field, both man and beast. And the hell smote every herb of the field, killed all the herbs, and the beasts and men that was out there, and break every tree of the field. Dang. Broke all the trees down. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hell. Was no hell where we were at as the children of Israel. That's why I say we know about all these plagues and got in the wilderness still complain. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. The Most High is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat the Most High, for it is enough that there be no more, there be no more mighty thunderings in hell. And I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. And Moses said unto him, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Most High, and the thunder shall cease. So you got thunder too. The thunder shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how that the earth is the Most High's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not yet fear the Most High. See, these other nations don't fear the Most High. That's why I look at Israelites as not fearing the Most High. You just like them. You're just like you call yourself Israelite if you want to, you know, but a Gentile Israelite. And the flax and the barley was smitten, for the barley was in the ear, and the flax was boiled, ready to be picked. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. So they hadn't grown up yet. And Moses went out of the city of Pharaoh, and that's why we look. You know, look, the barley in Israel, when it comes up, let you know it's near the time of the Passover. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh and spread abroad his hands unto the Most High, and the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart, he and his servants. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened, neither would he let the children of Israel go, as the Most High had spoken by Moses. So the Most High made a vow that he's going to harden his heart. So he can't help it. He can say whatever, but he's still going to come back to his heart being hardened. Chapter 10, Exodus. And the Most High said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart in the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what things I have wrought in Egypt, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know how I am the Most High. See, it's very important that we teach, you know, our sons and the sons and each other, you know, concerning the Most High, the things that the Most High done. That's why I'm just going through it, reading it all, you know, so you know that you can tell someone else, man. Talk about what the Most High did. Hear what he said, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what things I have wrought in Egypt, and my signs, the signs of the Most High, which I, that's the Most High, have done among them, that ye may know how that I am the Most High. And Moses and Aaron came in unto Pharaoh and said unto him, thus said the Most High power of the Hebrews, How long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts into thy coasts, all these plagues, the Most High bringing on the Egyptians, and they shall cover the face of the earth. Just like plagues on this earth right now, from the Most High, that he said he's going to bring on the earth. And it don't matter how it comes or who it is that brings them about. The Most High said they're going to come. Plagues, plagues, plagues. They coming. He said, else if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring the locusts into thy coasts, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth. That's how many locusts you're going to put on the earth. You ain't going to be able to see the earth. And they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field. It's going to eat up everything. And they shall fill thy houses, and the houses of all thy servants, and the houses of all the Egyptians, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen, which the day that they were upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh. So bring these locusts. They know you ain't never seen no locusts like this, he said. And your father's father ain't never seen nothing like this. And Pharaoh's servant said unto him, how long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Most High their power. Knowest thou not yet that Egypt is destroyed? So you don't know that Egypt is destroyed, no matter what he know. Remember what the Most High said, he gonna harden his heart. And the Most High said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart. This is all from the Most High. Remember what he told us in Hosea 5 and 15. I'm going to go to my place until we acknowledge as the Israelites our offended the Most High, and seek his face, because he turned his face away from us because we broke his laws, statutes, commandments, and still breaking his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations. He said, in our affliction, we're going to seek him early. Verse 7, and Pharaoh's servant said unto him, how long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Most High their power. See, let you know, no Egyptian have the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. None of these nations have the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're not of the 12 tribes of Israel. He's not your power. Let you know that they may serve their power. There's a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, period. Knowest thou not that yet that Egypt is destroyed? And Moses and Aaron were brought again unto Pharaoh. And he said unto them, go, serve the Most High your power. But who are they that shall go? And Moses said, we will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds will we go. For we must hold a feast unto the Most High. And he said unto them, let the Most High be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before us, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now ye that are men, and serve the Most High, for that ye did desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail have left. She's destroying this place. That's what I say, Egypt is destroyed. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Most High brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. Listen, that's amazing. Look at that's the Most High speaking, y'all. He bringing forth his. Let me see if I have. Yeah, go to 2 Ezra 8 and verse 22. This is what it say. Whose service, Most High service, is conversing in wind and fire, whose word is true and sayings constant, whose commandments is strong and ordinance fearful. So the Most High have a conversation in wind and fire. Listen. So he brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. He speaks in the wind. He speaks in fire. Fire is his word. He speaks in the wind. It's his word also, as we just heard. His conversing in wind and fire. And the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in all the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they. Before them, there were no such locusts as they. Neither after them shall be such. Listen, I seen a cat, he might have had a locust about this big. It's bigger than what I could eat. You could see my my hands. It was this big in his hand. But they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste. And he said, I have sinned against the Most High, your power. See, your power. Not his power, your power. All of a sudden now, the Most High the power of everybody? No. He said, I have sinned against the Most High, your power. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We said that's his name forever and memorial to all generations. And against you. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once. And entreat the Most High, your power, that he may take away from me this death only. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Most High. And the Most High turned a mighty strong west wind. He turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coast of Egypt. But the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart. Here he is again, doing the same thing, hardening Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go. All to get him a name. And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt. This darkness is going to be so dark, it's going to be felt. What kind of darkness is that, y'all? You ready for this? Because see, what you don't understand is he don't give him a name that's going to last forever and ever and ever. Going to be way worse than this. These plagues that he's talking about bringing on the earth, everybody going to know that he is the Most High.